Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, let me introduce myself. My name is Alexia and I'm a blogger and coach. I am the owner of Confident Silhouette, whose mission is to empower and support moms on their self-love journey. I provide tips and resources and coaching to help you build your confidence, manage your mental health, and balance motherhood with self-love. What do moms need to achieve this? You need structure through routines and schedules. You need healthier relationships with others. And you need to learn to be you confidently so that you are more spiritually and intuitively in tune with yourself. So my fun facts about myself this week are my second favorite color, and the color that I love to wear the most is black. So you'll probably see me in a lot of black. And then I was a huge Sailor Moon fan growing up. Shout out to all my anime lovers. I loved Sailor Moon. Oh my gosh, when it would come on every morning, 6 a.m., I would be up, making sure I'm up watching Sailor Moon. I love that show. And honestly, my favorite was Sailor Moon. I wanted to be her. She was the leader. She had all these just coming into of her power and just, I loved her and I loved that show. All right, so let's hop into the topic for this video, which is shadow work. Not everyone is comfortable with shadow work, and that is okay because it's scary and it does require a lot. It requires a lot of vulnerability. It requires a lot of honesty and transparency. It requires you to really be open and honest with yourself about what it is that you need to work on to be a better version of you, to be the best version of you. We all have things we need to work on. All of us. Nobody is perfect. We all have things we have to work on. And shadow work is about you confronting those parts of yourself that you hide away, that you shun away from, for various reasons. But they could be negative traits. They could also be positive traits. But a lot of it is negative traits that you don't want to show to other people, that you know are not good for you to have. So you kind of tuck it away. But tucking it away doesn't get rid of it. Eventually, it's going to bubble up and bubble over into your conscious self, into your consciousness, into your conscious self, and bubble over into your life and spill over into your life. And that's when you'll have a lot of conflict. You'll be lashing out at people, unforgiveness. You may indulge in different types of addictions and things like that. Being depressed, if you're depressed a lot, it may be time for you to do shadow work. So if you're experiencing depression, anxiety, addictions, feeling stuck and stagnant, conflict with others, a lack of boundaries, things like that, if you're experiencing any of that, then it is time for you to do shadow work. So what is shadow work? Shadow work is, like I said, it's about you acknowledging and working through those parts of yourself that you hide away, that you put to the back burner because you don't want to deal with it or you don't want other people to see. The shadow self is the parts of us that we keep hidden, whether consciously or unconsciously, due to trauma. And trauma can be big things, trauma can be little things, but trauma is whatever event in your life that made a negative impact. It made you feel some type of way. It led you to make different types of decisions or go down a different type of path because of whatever may have happened in your life. Give me one. Sorry about that. I had to get something. Okay. Um, the shadow self is the parts of us that we keep hidden, whether consciously or unconsciously, due to trauma. That shadow is where all of our unconscious habits, patterns, addictions, subconscious beliefs, and trauma lie. The purpose of shadow work is not to destroy the shadow, but to integrate it. Shadow work is to acknowledge your shadow self and work to heal unresolved trauma and abuse. And what I mean by integrating your shadow is you want to be a whole person. You want to forgive yourself. You want to work through your trauma and you want to integrate your shadow so that you can accept the bad parts of yourself, the bad things that have happened to you, and still have the strength to move forward. And so, yeah, you want to be one whole person with your good and your bad, because like I said, no one is perfect. So we all have good things and bad things about us. And you have to accept you for who you are and learn to work with that, because you don't get a new you. Who you are is who you are. So you're just going to have to accept it and just learn to work with it. Okay, so our journal prompt for this, for our shadow work are, number one, what roles do you play in your life? What mask do you wear and why? Journal prompts are to get you thinking, to get you in tune with your thoughts and to help you process your thoughts and just get them out and acknowledge it. And then you'll start to think about it. You'll start to think, and you may even come up with your own solutions. So that's why journaling is a very good exercise, especially on the healing journey. So what roles do you play in your life? What mask do you wear and why? So who are you pretending to be? Who do you pretend to be with certain people in your life so that, you can keep up appearances or not offend other people or whatever? You want to dig deep into that. Then two, when you were a child, what made you feel sad? What made you happy? Shadow work also has to do with going back into your childhood and seeing where a lot of experiences made you who you are today. Because as a child, you're learning from your environment. There are some things that are within you, but you are learning from your environment. You are learning from the people around you. So other people are basically teaching you who you are supposed to be. And again, there were experiences that made you sad. There were experiences that made you happy. There were experiences that made you angry. And you may have wanted to be a certain way and people told you, no, that's not right. You shouldn't do this or you shouldn't be that way. or you need to be more like this. And so they were telling you who you are supposed to be. And then based on their beliefs and their experiences, is bleaching off onto you and forming you into another version of them. And so shadow work has to do with you going back into your childhood and really trying to remember who you were really trying to be. Like, what did you really enjoy as a child? What did you want to do as a child? What did you want to be as a child? Like, that, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like looking back over that and then understanding why did you want to be that when you grew up? That says a lot about you as well, like your personality and what truly may make you happy, even though it may not be the same dream as an adult, because, life has a way of changing you as you grow up. But that spirit is still inside of you from when you were a child. So shadow work forces you to go back to when you were a child and really processing your likes and your dislikes and the path that you thought you were going to go down, and then seeing where you are now. And is it really what you want? Is it really what makes you happy? And trying to get back to that childlike state, like getting back to just being, instead of worrying about everybody else and trying to live up to everybody else's expectations. And then 3, the third journal prompt: what beliefs do you hold about life that you recognize came from your parents or primary caregivers? So like I said, those who raised us, their beliefs bleach off onto us. So their beliefs about money, their beliefs about family, their beliefs about career, about school, if you should go to college or not, if you should own a business or not, their beliefs about taking risks, their beliefs about relationships, about men or women, just all those beliefs. List them out. What beliefs your parents or primary caregivers had that you could recognize that you hold the same beliefs, and then try to work through, if they are limiting beliefs, eliminating them, like letting them go, getting rid of them, and replacing them with more of a growth mindset and beliefs that will help you to grow and evolve into the person that you really want to be. All right, so here we are. It's time to do our reading. And I got a spread with some questions. Going to do a 4-card spread as always, but this time, whatever the card is answering that question. Okay. All right, here we go. So question number 1, what shadow behavior is preventing me from moving forward right now? Wheel of Fortune. Pull Wheel of Fortune. What work must I do to uncover and resolve that shadow behavior? I pulled the 7 of Swords. 3, what parts of myself must I be prepared to face in this work? I pulled the Two of Cups reversed. And then 4, what are my next steps to working with my shadow? I pulled the 10 of Swords. All right, so let's break it down. What does this mean? What is it telling you? What shadow behavior is preventing me from moving forward right now? I pulled the Wheel of Fortune card, and that to me said leaving things up to chance. Leaving things up to chance and not really understanding where things are coming from. And so again, use the journal prompts earlier in the video that I just showed you. Use those journal prompts to have a deeper understanding of your shadow self, and not so much leaving things up to chance, being indecisive. So maybe you are struggling with indecisiveness. So definitely, if that is a shadow behavior of yours, then spend this time to really get in tune with your shadow self and acknowledge and process those emotions and those thoughts that you're having about the direction of your life. Okay, 2, what work must I do to uncover and resolve that shadow behavior? I pulled the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords has to do with leaving things out. Leaving things out. So again, you want to get as much information as you can using those journal prompts. You want to get as much information as you can, and really dig deep and get to the root of a lot of things, going back in your childhood, looking at what you may have blocked out or what you may have forgotten or what you may have left behind that you needed to process and work through, that you kind of just was like, I don't want to deal with that right now. This is the time for you to pick that back up and work through that. So no more leaving things behind, no more blocking things out. It's time for you to do the work to process what it is that you need to figure out, getting to the root of your addictions and your depression and the trauma that you went through, and being able to get to a place of more peace and more awakening of your unconscious and your subconscious self. So that's the work you have to do. You have to go back and look at what you blocked out, what you left out, and use this time in your journaling to not leave things up to chance and not just going about life blindly and, being indecisive, but making a decision to work through your negative behaviors. Okay, and then 3, what parts of myself must I be prepared to face in this work? And I pulled the 2 of Cups, but it's reversed. So you are out of balance with yourself. You're not giving self-love. And that's okay, because this channel is all about the journey to self-love. So if you're lacking self-love and you're lacking self-worth and you're lacking, being kind to yourself and sharing with yourself and being open and receptive to yourself, then this is a good time for you to do that, for you to, like I said, process your emotions, process your thoughts and feelings, understanding why you feel a certain type of way, especially when you're like triggered and things like that, understanding why you're being triggered, why you feel this way, and where, the trigger is coming from, because it's coming from somewhere else. It's not necessarily coming from the situation in the present moment or at the time. It's coming from somewhere else deeper than that. So understanding the root of that and getting to why you are feeling the way you're feeling, and then being kind to yourself, giving yourself grace, because this is a process. This is a journey. You can't do shadow work overnight. You're not going to, suddenly just love yourself and have all the confidence and self-worth in the world, just by doing shadow work one time. It's a process. It takes practice. It takes being open and honest with yourself. And okay, look, go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get it upstairs. Da, 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 da. And so, yeah, so just being kind to yourself and giving yourself grace and understanding and forgiving yourself and understanding that this is a process and it won't happen overnight. And so then 4, what are my next steps to working with my shadow? I pulled the 10 of swords. You got to kill it. You got to kill whatever is holding you back, whatever fear you're having, whatever self-doubt you're having, whatever, negative beliefs or patterns that you're holding on to. It's time to kill that. It's time to kill that so that you can begin anew, so that you can start over and start fresh and understand that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. You just have to, like I said, be kind to yourself and be more understanding of who you are. Again, going over those journal prompts and recognizing what behaviors and beliefs you need to kill right now so that you can move forward and come to a place of healing and self-love. All right, so our meditation, 10-minute deep breathing. You want to breathe in, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out, hold for 3 seconds, breathe in, hold for 4 seconds, and then breathe out. Hold for 4 seconds. And you want to keep doing that until you are in a relaxed state. The negative thoughts get quieter, and use whatever is popping into your head. Pay attention to it. And if it's negative, see how you can replace it with the more positive thought. Listen to your positive affirmations. Repeat your positive affirmations to yourself. Burn sage or Palo Santo to repel negative energy. Have a healing crystal nearby. You can use any black crystal to aid in your shadow work. Black tourmaline, black obsidian, and that's all I can think of right now. But there's so many black crystals. Any black crystal is good at absorbing and repelling negative energy. And then a rose quartz, so that you welcome self-love, selenite, or a lapis lazuli to get you more spiritually in tune and reinforce your spiritual awakening during your shadow work. All right, so that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the support. If you have any questions about shadow work, please visit my website, beyouconfidently.com. I go more in depth in there on my website, on my blog. I have 2 articles written so far. How to know it's time for you to do shadow work. That goes more into your light self, your shadow self, what shadow work is, how you know it's time to do shadow work, how to do shadow work, what do you need to do shadow work, why it's important, how it will help you, and things like that. And then I have another article on how to do shadow work the easy way, because a lot of people can overcomplicate shadow work and therefore not do it because they feel overwhelmed with it and they feel like it's too hard, it's too much. No, you're taking on too much at one time. You got to break it down, you got to break it up. So on my website, on my blog, I break down how to do shadow work the easy way, so that you're not overwhelmed and trying to do everything at once and then you give up, or you're just too scared to do shadow work because you feel like that's inviting negativity and all this other stuff. No, there's an easier way. There's a better way that will get you in a more mindset of, okay, this is going to help me understand me better, and not so much this is just me being negative or me inviting negativity or only focusing on the negative. That's not what shadow work is for. It's not for you to only concentrate on the negative. It's for you to acknowledge the negative so then you can release it and then integrate your shadow into your conscious self so that you are being one whole person, instead of, putting things, blocking things out and not acknowledging it. And it'll spill over into your life in other more negative ways, such as depression and self-destructing, self-sabotaging behaviors. You don't want that. So you got to do your shadow work. Everyone has to do shadow work. It's necessary for your healing journey and for you to keep moving forward. I almost forgot to do our moon cards. I didn't really have to do the moon card, but I'm gonna just pull one anyway. Work through your fears. Work through your fears. Nothing is yet set in stone. So if you are, experiencing a certain way now, nothing is set in stone. You can always, make the decision to do something different and to work through your fears and get to a better place where you can then welcome more happiness and abundance, and being able to be more present in your life and in your body, and learning to love you for who you are, the good and the bad. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And again, if you have any questions about shadow work, leave them in the comment below, and go visit my blog to get more in-depth information on shadow work, how you know it's time for shadow work, and how to do shadow work the easy way. All right, so I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.